Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. What an amazing week, for our very first YPO Davos Hub. This is an important moment for YPO. We're going to have the chance to talk about the next 3 out of the 6 finalists of our Global Impact Award. And as you know, in the strategy of YPO, our 3.0 strategy, we want to be more prominent. And this hub here is actually a good example of being more prominent in YPO. We want to be more inclusive in diversity. We also want to be more relevant. But most important, the first value that we have in our future is to be more impactful. And as we continue to deploy the strategy of being more impactful as an organization, we've truly raised the Global Impact Award to really an international level within YPO and really to honor our members making a difference. And I must say that it's actually building the blocks and the architecture on something that was already amazing, recognizing our peers that were making an impact in the world. It was actually created in 2012 and by some of our peers created already the system to make sure that we were recognizing and acknowledging the members that were doing an amazing impact. So we build them on a block to make this Global Impact Award really very important. It's going to be given in San Diego. But I'm very pleased and proud to call him also as a friend that the creator, actually, of the Global Impact Award, the person that say, hey, we need to do that in 2012 and brought some very important YPOs together, past chairman, WPO chairman, actually, as well, is Alain Chetrit from YPO Washington. And so he is the architect of everything, and he was much more advanced into the concept, and so we owe him a lot. And so it's an honor for me to introduce you to Alain.
Well, thank you, Pascal. Pascal is very generous. So I'll provide a little context on the Global Impact Initiative. So back in 2012, we looked around the GLC, and there were some amazing speakers on stage who actually were very inspiring. And we said, look, I looked around the room and I said, we must have within this room a number of people doing great things around the world to make the world a little better. So maybe we should go and look for them and identify them and recognize them, highlight them so we could inspire others. And we did that. And for a few years, we recognized several members who were doing amazing things around the world. And we realized that for 70 years, YPO has been doing an excellent job identifying members or people who could become members and to join the organization based on their business acumen and their savviness on how to grow and be successful businessmen. But we looked at our initiative to begin to measure the heart of YPO. And we looked at people with great projects, with a heart, and then we amplified them to inspire others and create a multiplier effect. To that, Pascal came into the forefront, and so what was already done and built on that and created the acceleration of the Global Impact Awards and using the infrastructure of YPO in the regions to use that infrastructure to identify members. Last year, for this year rather, we identified 200 members who were nominated for their impactful messages and projects. Out of that, quickly, it was reduced to 6 global nominees, and these 6 are going to be recognized they'll be nominated, they're announced here and announced in San Diego in a few weeks. So I'd like to introduce our chairman-elect, Tassos Economou, who will actually announce the 3 of the 6 that have been identified. Thank you.
Alain, thank you so much. It's a real pleasure, and as you say in French, chapeau for what you've done. We do many things in YPO. It's an amazing organization. We have the power of impact, we interact, we learn. But what I find is incredible and what for me is the most special moment in YPO is when we can really honor our peers for being extraordinary. And this is such a moment where we will announce the final 3 finalists for the Global Impact Award that will be announced in San Diego. So I will start with a lady, a very special lady that represents our African region, Patricia Nozalnima. Patricia has done many things. She is the managing partner at Communicart. She's the founder and CEO of the International Ladies Working Group. And what she does through that is she really helps empower women to use their leadership skills to bring about positive change. But it doesn't stop there. She has also created the Working Ladies WIA Hub, which is basically the first incubator for women in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And if you thought, that's it? Well, there's Yuzi Cabs, where she's really trying to empower women through transportation. So without further ado, I'll let the video do more of the talking.
Lorsque vous vous lancez dans l'entrepreneuriat en Afrique, personne ne croit en vous, même pas votre famille. Je pense qu'il y a énormément des doutes. La famille dans la peur que vous puissiez tomber, et de l'autre côté, les banques parce qu'ils n'ont pas confiance forcément aux femmes. À cette époque-là, lorsque je me suis lancée, la chose la plus inattendue qui m'est arrivée lors de mes voyages, c'était de rencontrer des personnes qui ont cru en moi. En 2012, j'ai été parmi les premières femmes à avoir été sélectionnées au programme des Young African Leaders. Les formations que j'ai eues à travers YALI, c'est ce qui a permis d'ailleurs que je puisse lancer UBISCAB. Parce que lors de la formation de YALI, un des coachs nous avait dit, pour créer une entreprise, il faut savoir qu'est-ce qui ne marche pas dans votre pays et vous trouver une solution à travers. On s'est vraiment donné à 100%, c'était la société de transport, parce que mettre des femmes en avant-plan dans nos pays africains, c'est très mal vu de voir les femmes au volant, des femmes conduire des hommes, et il fallait que nous puissions casser cette barrière-là. À travers notre fondation, c'est de mettre à disposition de ces femmes des outils, des formations, des séances de coaching, afin de les permettre de se surpasser et surtout de découvrir leur plein potentiel, afin de pouvoir être des actrices du changement dans d'autres continents. Ma joie, ma satisfaction, c'est de voir toutes ces femmes aujourd'hui être en mesure d'aider leur propre famille, d'être aujourd'hui en mesure de devenir des modèles d'inspiration dans leur propre communauté. C'est cela qui est beaucoup plus important pour moi. Je participe à l'évolution de l'Afrique, je contribue à l'épanouissement de l'Afrique et je construis des ponts vers le futur. C'est cela qui me motive le plus.
Our second finalist that is going to be announced today is Jan Borgstedt. And what is interesting about Jan is that he works on innovative solutions to women empowerment. I could spend tons of time talking about what Jan does, but we're very privileged tonight to have him here present with us in Davos. So I think I will do him the best justice and invite him on stage to tell us a couple of words. Jan?
Thank you very much. I mean, there will be a movie. I don't even remember what I said in the movie, so hopefully I won't repeat myself. But look, the journey started 15 years ago through YPO, because actually I started it while going to Morocco and with a guy called Brahim and Amina Slaoui. And Brahim is actually in Davos, so it's and for me it's like a business. You know, I spend 70% of my time on it. We've been named one of the top 200 NGO in the world, and you know, we focus on innovative solution for women empowerment. And I think what's important for me, it's not about feminism. It's a word I don't use because I think you lose a lot of men in it. It's about giving the same rights and opportunities to every human being, and I think that's the essence of it. You know, I'm born a man. I could have been born a woman. You know, and I think there is no reason for me that different human beings don't have the same rights and opportunities. And I think as a business guy, it makes total sense. You know, you look at all the data. I think McKinsey says you get parity will bring $1 trillion to the world economy. So it makes sense, you know, financially, And then as a human rights activist, it makes sense. So for me, there is no reason why to do it. And we do it in very interesting ways. So I'm not sure what the movie says, but anyway, it's that's it for me. Thank you, guys.
I was on a trip in Morocco with some local YPO members, and I met an NGO that worked on single mother and girl labor. I met a lot of girls between 6 and 12 years old who were employed as maids, sometimes being sexually abused. And I said, I need to do something. I need to work on how we can help those girls to have a better future than that. Women faces many challenges around the world, education being one, violence against women being another one, and access to employment and fair salaries is a third one. Humanity is addressing those challenges in different ways. One of them is we have an award on finding the most innovative solution that tackle violence against women. We have a program called Women Change Makers that helps social entrepreneurs scale their impact and improve the lives of women. And we have the program on how to use media to challenge gender stereotype in the Middle East. At Humanity, one of our biggest differences is that we run the foundation like a business. It's about having the most impact, to leverage that dollar to be the most impactful. You know, in 15 years down the line, you know, we're one of the top 200 NGO in the world. I believe we have a lot of impact in all of our programs, but one of the ones that touched me the most is what we do in Afghanistan in terms of girls' education. I met these young girls who told me, you know, since I've been educated, now I want to be the next president of Afghanistan. That young girl who would have never dreamed of becoming president said, okay, now that I'm educated, I can understand what I can be and what I want to do in my life. And I said, now I can really understand the value of what we do. What inspires me is really to try to have impact and to challenge the way, you know, the world is run. I believe it's a question of mindset. If you want to help, you can help.
The third finalist is Rodrigo Baggio. Rodrigo Baggio is the founder and president of Recode. Recode focuses in Latin America, and what he is working on through Recode is to eradicate the digital divide that exists. In the last 25 years, he has trained more than 1.7 million, let me repeat that, 1.7 million young people from low-income communities in more than 1,158 centers across Brazil and 8 other countries. But I let Rodrigo tell us a little bit more.
What most inspires me professionally is the capacity to training and changing poor young people in tech change makers. To teach these people use that technology in a good way to change the way they are working, study, and improve the quality of their lives. Social innovation is extremely important to innovate in the way that we can think and creating solutions for almost all of the social problems that our Brazilians in low-income communities live. "25 years ago, when I started Recode as the first civil society organization working for the good use of technology, we didn't have internet in Brazil, even in Latin America. So we can use technology to inspire these people, be empowered and change their life, but continues working to impact and changing the reality around them. When we teach someone about coding, we teach people coding their own life, or recode their life, or recode their community, their school. like this one here in the City of God, one of the biggest and more challenging low-income community in Rio de Janeiro. This is our dream and our vision, creating a new society where people use technology to do good and changing the way that we are living in a life with more solidarity, freedom, and autonomy.
But as always in YPO, there needs to be a surprise and a twist. We are very honored tonight because one of the finalists that was announced this Monday, Willie Foote, is here with us of Root Capital. And it's such a pleasure. I would like to invite you, Willie, please join me on stage and tell us a little bit more about what you do. And then of course, there will be a video following for the good that you're doing. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Willie Foote, and pleasure to be here. YPO has played a really important role in my professional life. I've been involved about 10 years. Folks like Dick Simon and Bobby Sager in Boston. I'm in the New England chapter. And so I am the founder and CEO of an organization, an NGO called Root Capital, and we invest in the growth of small agricultural businesses like farmer cooperatives and agro-processors, so they can transform rural communities in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. So we focus on businesses that can, in all cases, connect hundreds or thousands of farmers to markets where their crops fetch a better price and where they provide inputs and training to help those farmers succeed. And just briefly, we've lent about $1.5 billion over the past 20 years to 700 businesses, 6 million people, improved incomes and opportunities. And we've helped to really create a financial market for smallholder farmers and their businesses. But with a lot of market acceleration and impact in recent years, you've had really fundamental disruptions and changes in natural forces and in market forces, especially around climate. And how do you adapt to climate change and disruption? And also, how do you integrate the marginalized workforce of women and young people? So that's a big part of what we're doing going forward. And I don't think we should win because I'm incredibly humbled by these other folks who are the honorees, but I'm excited to be here and continue to leverage the power and the influence and the enlightened leadership of YPO. So great to be here, and I guess there's a video as well. I visited an association of vanilla farmers toiling to improve the livelihoods of dozens of indigenous families while drug traffickers were operating in the jungles around them. And in the end, that cooperative failed, not because of the narcos, but because they couldn't access capital, markets, basic business skills they needed to succeed. And so I said, I want to do something about that, and I want to do it at scale. Our mission at Root Capital is to invest in the growth of small agricultural businesses so they can transform rural communities. We believe that the key to unlocking opportunities for those families already exist there in their communities, and it's these agricultural businesses that can reach and connect thousands and thousands of farmers to larger markets. If they can grow, they raise farmer incomes. They create jobs in rural places. They empower women and the next generation. They help to preserve vulnerable ecosystems. We're in the boardrooms where capital decisions are made, and we also go down the dirt roads to the communities where the real innovations are created. We don't just parachute in. We earn the trust over years of working with these farmers and their businesses. And that trust and relationship is what allows us to pilot new ideas and create big change. By helping farmers adopt climate-smart agricultural practices, by creating decent jobs and economic opportunity for young people, and by integrating the marginalized workforce of women. We want to fundamentally impact the wider agricultural and financial sectors by demonstrating that these agricultural businesses are bankable
and then crowding in other institutions to replicate and adopt our work. It's all about the root causes. That's our organization's North Star in terms of being able to secure sustainable livelihoods for rural families around the world.
So I do look forward to seeing you all in San Diego in not too long, when we will celebrate the finalists of our Global Impact Award. In interim, I would like to invite all of you to here at Davos to come downstairs for an Only in YPO evening. Thank you so much.